5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Now go home and get your shine box.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another new episode of Go Get Your Shine Box. This is Jim, your host, and along with my co-hosts, Paul and Joe. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys, from Central New Germany. Good to be with you.
How you doing, guys, man? Dude, I gotta tell you, I'm hanging on by my fingernails over here. This is not cool.
Is the new bumper music helping you out, or is it hindering the mood?
It's better than metal, I guess, to soothe the savage soul.
Speaking of that, did you have a little? I understand you had a little news from the dark side.
We do. Dark News Network. We are going to our intrepid reporter. I tell you guys, some people might even call him a wizard.
In the field.
In the field.
Our man on the ground.
On the ground in the field. His name is Nathan Bedford Forrest Gump VII.
Joe Biden has fallen. He can't get up.
Oh. Again? This is terrible. Our illustrious leader can't seem to find his feet. We'll return after we find out how many broken bones he's got.
We honestly, I want to say that we wish him well. We hope he didn't get hurt out there. That was a serious face plant.
That was a rough one. I just looked at that just before we came on the air here, and man, he took a good one there.
Did you see him? Have that removed.
Yeah, have to remove, Corporal.
And then Trump, he followed up by saying, I don't know. You got to tiptoe around these stages. He just went down. The guy went down. But what are you going to do? The funny part was the hooting and hollering.
The crowd loved it. Crowd goes wild.
Yeah, that was crazy. But
yeah, and it's a military commencement, So that gives you a bit of an idea of the esteem with which they hold the commander in Chucklehead, the Chucklehead in chief.
The liar in chief. It's
everybody knows. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Didn't want to jump on that. We couldn't. It's not like obviously this is an audio show, so we couldn't show the video. But we saw this early today when it first happened, and then everybody's jumping on it. It's all over everything. I mean, as well it should be. But it's really hard not to mock him for that. But the guy, you just don't go and mock people in nursing homes and stuff because they can't help it. He's out of it. He's way out of it.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion, but the most pathetic thing about it is that you can clearly see that he is a stick figure.
Yeah.
He doesn't do or make any decisions. They're all made for him by who's pulling the strings behind the curtains.
Yeah,
that's really sad.
And the thing is, it's either, I don't know if it's the dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever it is, but medical people have watched this guy, and one of the giveaways is the gait. Okay.
Right.
And that's why he falls, because his brain is not firing the proper signals to make his feet work right.
Right.
All right.
Same as drinking too much. It's the same effect.
Yeah. Now, stepping aside, I don't know if this is a copyright infraction or whatever, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is soon after Scott Adams put out a cartoon.
Oh, right.
And aside from Dilbert, he does another one called Robots Read News. Now, this is just a picture of a robot sitting at a desk. It's got 3 panels. First panel, President Biden survived an assassination attempt today. Next panel, the Secret Service says the would-be assassin slipped the president a pack of gum and waited for him to walk and chew at the same time. And then the third one says, Mother Nature commented in anger, You idiots couldn't wait 1 month. I told you I got this. Which I'm not altogether sure what that means, but
Well, from the mind of Dilbert.
I don't know what Mother Nature's going to do in a month with a pack of gum, but whatever.
Well, I mean,
you know what that meant.
yeah.
I don't really want to say it on air. I don't want to get investigated. It had something to do with the Grim
I'm
Reaper.
already waiting for that. But again, to stress my point about him not making any decisions, what is really sad is that his approval rating is like nil.
Yeah.
Nobody wants him to be president, yet he is, and he most likely will get reelected again because we're not in control. The cabal is in control. The deep state is in control, and we're just along for the ride.
And here's the thing.
I'm glad Joe's not cynical tonight.
Well, we were going at it this afternoon. A green shoot of hope sprang up in Joe this afternoon, and I got out the freaking weed whacker.
Smashed it down.
He
Hope springs eternal. What's going on here?
he beat that down to a pulp. Let me tell you.
Speaking of beating things down to a pulp, our actual topic tonight is aptly named ECG, DIE, WTF. we did do a show. I don't have Bidenism yet, so I do remember with a little help that we did a show on DEI. We covered diversity, equity, and inclusion a little bit, but we have another thread to pull. That's why I'm kind of putting it for a couple reasons. One, it's what is it? It's the June 1st today, which we all know is. Unfortunately, which we all know isn't National White History Month.
The first day of Hell Month.
Yeah, it's Pride Month, which is a joke. Let me just say, and I don't want to get worked up because I don't want to get too emotional in this because I think this is how can I put it? It's like the devil is reaching up from his hell, from the hell mouth, and shaking everybody and laughing. Satan standing spreads his wings. Pride is one of the deadly sins. Ironically, this might as well be the glutton Pride Month. But anyways, that being said, we've all seen what's happening with Bud Light, Kohl's, Target, even Chick-fil-A. Not Chick-fil-A as far as their market shares, but well, we were talking this week and we're trying to figure out what the heck is the deal. I know I talked to Joe and Paul separately. What the heck is the deal? These people are deliberately losing money, and then it goes back to, let's look at the ECG and how it works. So lo and behold, well, I don't even know if people know what the ECG is. Environmental, social, and governance is what it stands for. And it's interesting because if you browse through the site, it sounds innocent enough. ESG, it's right on the front page, the management analysis framework to understand and measure how sustainability in an organization and operating. But what it actually is carbon footprint.
It's carbon, climate change. It's anti-white, pro people of color, pro diversity. Pro black, pro women.
That's
pro
part
gay.
part of the socialization of it.
Yes, right.
Do you mean bullshit?
Yes.
Well, most definitely. And I highly suggest. Maybe I'll put this link. I put this link in our description. But I highly suggest people go look this stuff up and start reading it. Put on your big boy glasses and start reading between the lines. They claim the ECG takes the holistic view that substantiability, which is just a word that is made up, extends beyond just environmental issues. So this makes sense now because Joe, remember we were talking, you said, what is the point? And I said, the businesses are in business to make money, no? Well, this is the new mafia. That's what the ECG is. I don't know if you can say this without them trying to assassinate you, but the ECG is the new mafia.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
So they're extorting these major companies, and I have a graphic of some of the companies that are participating in this nonsense, this pride
So
flag
what's
mockery
the
nonsense.
what's the penalty if you tell them to go scratch?
Well, that's it. That's part of this discussion. The penalty is cancellation, deplatforming, their own different kinds of psychotic boycotting.
Yeah, but
Well-
how could you deplatform Bud Light?
I'll tell you how. The main driver of this, the guy's name is Larry Fink. Okay, he's a member of a special group of people that wear
Egyptian
small
society,
hats.
we might say.
And I don't remember what BlackRock's AUM assets under management, either 10 trillion or 30 trillion. It's some god awful number. And with that kind of money, you control things.
Yeah.
You know, we were just talking about who runs the country. Well, it ain't the president. You know what I mean? It's the bankers, the MIC, military industrial complex, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, this guy is whole balls in for this ESG garbage. And they are using it, in my opinion, to not only promote their sick religion, which is what it is. It's a religion. It's
for sure.
anti-God. It's the inversion of everything that's true. And they are using it at the same time to extract whatever financial resources out of these companies. Go take a look, and Vanguard as well. Take a look at Vanguard and BlackRock. Every product you have ever bought in your entire life is controlled by these two funds, BlackRock and Vanguard. All of them.
We need to break them up.
But yeah, but you might as well break up the railroads.
No,
as they
you
used
got
to
it
say.
wrong.
you
These
know?
people break up governments. You understand? We
Mhm.
don't break them up. That's the kind of power they've got.
Mm,
So back to the original point, why would a company that's in business to make money have no problem whatsoever losing, say, $9 billion in a weekend? And then they're being extorted by these people because these people, like Paul was saying, have the power. So if you don't want to participate, if you don't want to play, look at Chick-fil-A, for crying out loud. And we'll get to that in a little bit. You know, everybody thinks that great Christian company that closes on Sunday. Yeah, well, they're being extorted by the ECG mob, the mafia. And they actually have a description of what an ECG specialist is, which would be probably a soldier, if you want to continue with the mafia analogy. If someone is an ESG specialist, it can mean a number of things. But in general, this is someone who has very strong analytical skills and comprehensive understanding of how ECG factors relate to risks and opportunities. And I'm not gonna read all this stuff, but it goes and talks about net zero emissions. You know what net zero emissions are? And I'm saying that rhetorically for the people out there listening. Net zero emissions, we have nothing. You have nothing. And they think if you run an electric car, if everybody owns an electric car, except for horseface, what's his name, John Kerry, because he's got to run around with a jet.
Well,
we're going to have net
he's
zero
impotent.
emissions. He wants to kill cows now. That was his latest thing. He wants to destroy farming in this country. And I don't want to digress, but if you look at the so-called VIN chart, whatever, all of this stuff comes into the one, area of ESG. It's we have too many acronyms tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I still don't get that. Okay, so what if Chick-fil-A says, you know what, we don't care about the ESG. We're just going to do our thing the way we do our thing.
okay,
What could they
Gotcha.
possibly do to them?
Well, Chick-fil-A, I'm assuming, and I'm sorry to say, I don't even know this. I'm assuming it's a publicly traded company.
Yeah,
And
I believe
I
it
would
is.
go look that up right now, but it'll probably crash my computer and ruin everything. Okay, it's a publicly traded company. Well, BlackRock and Vanguard, probably between them, own 40% of Chick-fil-A.
some
stock
way,
shares.
shape, or form or another. But simply by buying stock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or so they sell, you don't do what we say. Well, we're going to sell off your stock and crash your, all your stockholders are going to, lose their 401ks money or whatever.
Right.
And we'll see if you listen to them screaming and hollering.
Yeah, and let me get down into the weeds a little further, because this even makes more sense. You don't want to freaking pay the money. You don't want to bow down to our God. Well, guess what? You know the guy that sells you the chickens?
Yeah,
at the farm?
there's another one.
We own them.
Yeah.
Hey, those trucks, the truckers, yeah, we own them, and the list just goes on and on. Hey, your special sauce, yeah, we own part of that, because these guys are just this. When we talk about the stupid debt ceiling, which is smoke and mirrors, BS nonsense, like $30 trillion. These $30 trillion is nothing. That's the problem. They own a part of everything that makes these businesses run.
There's a million ways they can go about it.
Okay, you got my attention now. So what's the solution?
Well, you know what? The average guy on the street's like, Bud Light puts a guy on the can that dressed like a woman. We'll just boycott. Well, like I said earlier, I don't know why anybody would drink Bud Light, but neither here nor there. But that doesn't solve anything, because they don't freaking care. If you ever watch, this is a good example. Goodfellas, right? Yeah, everybody watched Goodfellas, right?
I think so.
Course,
yeah.
All right. So the bartender, he's losing money because they forced him into doing some stuff. So he's like, he gets with Paulie, and Paulie's like, whoa, what do I know about the restaurant business? What do you want me to do? Be a partner? So he's like, yeah, Paulie, what the fuck you think I'm talking about here? So he becomes his partner. So now Paulie's his partner. So now if Joey doesn't make the freaking the bill at the end of the month, screw him. You didn't have any business, screw you still got to pay. You didn't do any liquor sales, you still got to pay. So at the end of the whole show for this guy, the bar got busted out, which was the plan. That's the whole plan. And then his credit line got maxed out. They bought all kinds of liquor, brought it in the front, sold it out the back for half price for cash until he was busted. And that's what they do. That's a small sample
of what the elites are doing right now.
They will bust you out and sell you in pieces, and that'll be the end of it. And then it'll be like, chick who? And then somebody will come after you because you said chick.
There's a book, and I've not read it, but I've heard good reviews. It's called Corporate Cancer. By a guy he wrote under the name of pseudonym of Vox Day. His real name is Theodore Beale, and it's about these companies that basically go woke, get broke, get woke, go broke.
Right.
About the poison that is social justice.
Oh yeah, it's an immoral. Yeah.
And I'm wondering. Because why aren't we seeing there may be a list of these corporations that have gone broke, have gone bankrupt, that I'm just not aware of.
Well, they certainly aren't going to advertise them.
I'm thinking to myself, places like, look at what Disney's doing.
Yeah.
Why aren't they bankrupt? Granted, that's a big company, but I'm wondering if there are powers, and this is my belief, there are powers behind keeping these companies afloat, because this is not necessarily about making money. It's a religion. It's a dark religion.
As we're going to hit here,
that they are willing to spend whatever it takes in order to fund their grooming of children and bending and breaking of minds and souls.
And you know what the irony of this is to me? It is a religion. These are devil worshippers. The devil, Satan is their god. And the funny part is, he has no power. If he did, they wouldn't have to do any of this stuff. It's a total manipulation. They have to do it. They have to do the money thing.
Well, what about what you were telling me about that woman, that girl that was interviewed about? She
was in Target. And in fact, let me say this real quick. Because of the Target situation with their Pride their Pride stuff, they were targeting children. Yeah. And one of the satanic brands, I think the shirt said something to the effect, or the tag or the shirt said, Satan, approves of trans or something to that effect.
Well, like, repeat that again so our listeners could really
Yeah,
hear that clearly and understand what that said.
In the child section, and let's just say for the sake of argument, the child section is 10 and under, okay? Let's say between 5 and 11 even. Yeah. Tags and shirts being sold to kids, targeted towards kids, that say Satan is okay with trans. That's basically what it says. It says Satan something trans.
So this is, you're not making this up. This isn't like fake news.
No.
This is actual.
You could probably go, probably not around here in Florida so much because they're a little more conservative, but you could probably go into your local Target up there, and they might not be out front anymore, but you'll find one, and there you'll see the shirts for adults and for children.
Nice.
So one of the men on the ground reporters was talking to one of the women because employees, and she looked like she was a run of the mill, I don't know, 30-something, trailer trash, tattooed a little bit. And he was saying, well, how do you feel about this? And she's like, well, what do you want me to say? I approve of, Satan worship. I worship Satan. And she just came right out and said it as an employee. No shame, no nothing. I worship Satan. And then he said, this was the funny part. And he said, well, how do you think God would feel about that? And she said, well, I don't believe in God. It's like, not only are these people, are they off the freaking reservation? They're so jaded that they don't even know what that means, that what they're doing. That's how bad it is. They don't even know.
Can I interject a little something
yeah.
here? All right. Blah, blah, blah has launched a petition calling for the cancellation of Disney's new adult cartoon series, Little Demon.
Oh, yeah, that's actually been around for a couple of years, Little Demon.
2022, about a woman who mates with Satan
Yep.
and gives birth to his Antichrist daughter. Okay,
Right.
That's one. That's Disney.
Yeah.
Here's another one. The new series called Pauline that Disney Plus is greenlit. Greenlit German original series Pauline that follows a love story between a teenage girl and the devil. All right.
Oh, lovely.
So she gets knocked up by the freaking devil after a one-night stand with the devil. This is,
Look, any of you people out there that are listening to this and think this is cute, you need to have your friggin' head examined.
Yeah.
This is pure evil.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. This is about pure evil. This is about their religion, their ideology, and they will spend and do and crush anybody they can.
Yeah, and if you think they're not dropping, even in children's stuff, what you might think of as innocent, if they're not dropping subliminal hints in there through symbolism or frame cuts or something, you're just not paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah. And absolutely, and the things that we've seen recently, being the Bud Light thing, what else? The Target thing.
Target.
Yeah,
right.
And they've lost $9.3 billion in market value. Budweiser's like a 30%. I think Bud Light, or I don't know how they have their brands set up. Almost a 30% as of today loss. Kohl's just came out with, and they're not even calling it a onesie. Anybody with kids knows what a onesie is. That they're calling it. What were they calling it? An overall, or I don't know what they're calling it. A onesie is for an infant.
It's for a toddler or infant. Yeah.
Infant, a freaking trans pride flag. What are you kidding me?
Yeah. I watched an interview. With some celebrity. I don't know who she was, but she was like freaking out about Target moving their trans crap to the back of the store.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Her 7-year-old who is non-binary.
Yeah.
What are you? You know what? That child should be taken away from her. She doesn't deserve to have the child.
Oh man,
that's child abuse.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let me play this clip because this guy, and I couldn't figure out who he was, but he gives you a little insight on this ESG stuff, and this is all, how this all comes together. For some reason, I could not find this guy's name. He's only got like 3 or 4 videos out for some reason. I think I'm on his only subscriber, but see if his voice sounds familiar. Check it out.
Right now, Fortune 500 companies who are trying to increase their ESG scores what they're saying to the customers is, hey, customer, screw you. We don't value you above our ESG score. First comes BlackRock and all the money people, then comes you. When your priority flips like that, people leave. It happens in relationships. It happens in small businesses. It happens in friendships. It happens in brotherhood. It happens in siblinghood. It happens everywhere. And it's happening to these guys. And this is why I love capitalism, because it's so freaking honest.
So that,
Good.
I mean, I wish I get that guy's name, but
I don't recognize his voice.
no,
I do, but I can't pin.
Yeah.
It'll come to me after we're done.
he definitely nailed that part of it. But so if any of this is starting to make any sense to anybody, the ESG. I know I'm joking with the acronyms, with the DEI, and all of this stuff doesn't seem apparently smart from a business perspective. Let me see if I have this graphic.
I think, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think this all has to do with the world organization trying to absolutely destroy this country, and this is the enemy from within that they're trying to slide into this country to completely remove our constitution and tear this country down.
Well, you can't disagree. I think it's like a double-pronged attack, I don't think...
I will only disagree to this extent, that it's not trying to slide into this country.
It's already here.
It's headquartered in this country.
Yeah.
We are now the headquarters of evil on the planet.
But all this stuff. Kind of my point was that all this stuff is not really coming. It's coming from within the United States, right? Maybe it's based here, but it's coming from outside the country. This is the way they're infiltrating our country.
All of this ESG, LGBT, blah blah blah. We are pressuring other countries to adopt it. If you want our foreign aid money, you will adopt these tenets. We are doing it to them. It's not them doing it to us.
Hey, let me give you a little example of some of the participants. Let me know if you recognize any of the names on this list, and I'll go down. It's a graphic, but I'll just read the names off it, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the sun will come out tomorrow. That these people are under the influence of the ESG nonsense, and we'll start in no particular order because some of these restaurants I might, or if you want to call them restaurants, I may or may not frequent. I'm not going to admit anything. Wendy's, they have a Pride Month menu. Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, Arby's, Taco Bell, Papa John's, Pizza Slut, my favorite joking coffee place, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Krispy Kreme, Panda Express, Denny's, and there's a couple on here that I don't recognize because they're not. It's territorial, so they're probably out west. Like In-N-Out Burger or whatever. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. There's a lot of people. People talk about boycotts. You literally couldn't boycott everybody because you'd starve.
Right.
It is that in your face. So
yeah, and you know where this stuff ain't going? To countries that got religion.
Well, yeah, ironically, and this is going to be very controversial when I say it. You know where this isn't happening? It's not happening in Russia.
No, that's true, but Russia is still a Christian country.
Yeah,
it's not happening in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's right.
You notice that this month, like all these big advertisers are putting like a rainbow over the top of the American flag.
The ones I just mentioned are participating in
they're not going to have them in their overseas advertising.
Mercedes-Benz, BMW. Yeah. You go to Saudi Arabia, they're not over. You don't see that over there.
No, nope.
And that's how hypocritical
they won't tolerate it. Their religion doesn't tolerate it. And Uganda, what do you think? What do you think the predominant religion is? You've heard the Uganda story, right?
Right. Yeah.
They criminalized sodomy.
Yeah. So
They're
that's
Christian.
and then there's a handful of rainbow flag waving people over here saying, "Oh, boycott Uganda." Well, you couldn't find Uganda with a map and a flashlight.
I
and two
think that
hands.
we should get a GoFundMe thing going up, and we should send a bunch of these flamers over to those countries so they can
Yeah.
go protest.
Now, it's funny you mentioned that because after Lindsey Graham got done meeting with Zelensky over there in Ukraine, I messaged him suggesting that he come home via Uganda.
Just because there were two innocent gay men having a conversation, and you right away you got to go with that.
Shut up, racist!
Hey, out the door or out the window, your choice.
Edie. Anyway, let's go back to some of these. The Chick-fil-A thing I think is interesting because they're sneaking this kind of in. And this is kind of dovetails with the big places that are obvious and got boycotted. You can't put a guy faking to be a woman on a beer can. That's of course that's not going to fly. That's like putting a freaking rainbow flag on a NASCAR. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, this is from Chick-fil-A's website, and by the way, Chick-fil-A.com/DEI. So
Yeah.
So they actually have the page, the /DEI, which is the extension. And of course it says, when we're better at together, we're better together. And that's their Build Back Better motto, I guess. But let's say one of our core values at Chick-fil-A is that we are better together. We combine our unique backgrounds and experiences with a culture of belonging. We can discover new ways to strengthen the quality and care we deliver to customers. All right, to the communities we serve and around the world. We understand that getting better at together means learn better, care better, grow better, and serve better. Then, in bold print right under that, it says Chick-fil-A Inc.'s commitment to being better at together means embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion into everything we do. And the graphic is two hands shaking each other. It's like a 1983 graphic, and it's ironic that they're both white, the hands, but they are striving. Those hypocritical pieces of crap that he wanted to bend down and brush the shoes of a black man because a drug addict freaking died on the sidewalk and they blamed a cop and put him in jail for the rest of his life. And now he wants me to go eat his sandwich? Yeah, he can stick it up his ass, his sandwich.
Even President Trump had something to say about that, didn't he?
I don't know, but it just pisses me off. You know why this pisses me off? This pisses me off because this is a rock and roll church, right? These are the guys that are preaching the gospel, but you won't find a cross anywhere in the church because it might offend somebody. That's not a church. Don't come off like we're closed. Oh, we're closed Sunday because we're Christian, but we're going to shove diversity and equity and inclusion up your behind. Yeah, okay, yeah. Not to mention, and I'm not getting paid to say this, but Popeyes makes a superior chicken sandwich. So if anybody out there from Popeyes is listening to this, email me. I'll give you my contact information. You can send me all the free coupons that you.
Yes, my cousin by marriage, Rufus Jones Thompson, he loves Popeyes. Let me tell you. He swears by it.
Yeah, it's rather good. And there's one. Yeah. Anyway, so
You like those chicken sandwiches, don't you?
Oh, I like me a good Sammy. Yeah. So,
Sammy.
That was there's another interesting link, and we have to get. And I heated myself up because the Chick-fil-A pisses me off, and this is going to piss everybody off when we get to it. When we get to the GLSEN, okay.
Boy.
And the interesting part, I believe it's the Target. Back if you back up, Carlos, what is it, Savadre, whatever you pronounce his name. Who is the VP marketing for Target that was in charge of setting up these insulting, anti-Christian, disgusting displays at Target. Fortunately, they lost billions. He happens to also be the treasurer for GLSEN. Yeah. So, and what is GLSEN? I don't even know what the acronym means, but I'll tell you what it is. If you go to the website, glsen.org, there's a quick exit button on the website. Okay, what that means is it's prevalent on the website. So you open it up, and if somebody's walking into the room or coming over your shoulder and you don't want them to see, you have a button like that on your website. And traditionally, what I read is that porn sites used to do that. If you were back in the day when if you were watching porn at work and you saw your boss coming, you push the quick exit button and it goes to your favorite search engine. You know,
basically, if you're a pedophile groomer, you're on the GLSEN website.
Yes, what they're basically doing is camouflaging this. Let me tell you what these people do. They champion LGBTQ, FBI, do 1, 2, plus whatever the frig issues in the K to 12 education system. Guess how long they've been doing this? Take a guess.
1990.
1990. Good guess. Yeah.
I read the website.
Ridiculous. Our work, GLSEN believes that every student has the right to a safe, supportive, and LGBTQ inclusive K-12 education. We are a national network of educators, students, and local GSL and staffers that make it. This is a disgusting. I can't even think of the word. They've been targeting. Everybody thinks this just happened. You know, everybody thinks the scamdemic came along. Oops, we're going to get shot. We're going to get cut off of YouTube now. Everybody thought the scandemic came along. All the little children had to go home and they had to go on Zoom and they had to learn. And then the parents were coming in and there was no quick release button, so they couldn't hide it. They found out what was going on. No, this has been going on for freaking 30 years.
Yeah, and those of us who were around back then will, I guess, say I told you so.
Well,
because there was a thing back then, you may have heard of it, called the Satanic Panic.
Yep.
And all kind of horrific shit like this was going on. Kids were being groomed and trafficked, and the media and all of the usual characters came out and mocked the Christians and religious types.
It's all about mocking.
And then they, the 3-letter agencies made up fake freaking files and stories about children lying and whatever. This has been going on since then. So,
right up their website.
Well, it's been going on for longer.
But
for 2,000 years, this kind of thing's been going on. But in our lifetime, it blossomed back then.
Well, yeah. The point I'm trying to drive home is everybody thinks that this is new, and it clearly says for nearly 30 years we have been there every step of the way to ensure the rights of LGBTQ youth are protected. Now, this is, again, let me just point out a little hypocrisy and disingenuousness. That this whole LGBT crap, it wasn't even in existence in its formality. So that's a lie. They've been around. These are I guarantee these are the same people. They've been around a lot longer than 30 years. These are the same people that were influential in removing the Bible from school too. So you want to talk about anybody who wants to approach me and talk about banning books, they can kiss my ass. Okay? Yeah. Banning books. When you put the Bible back in the public schools, then you come to talk to me about banning books in Florida. And if you all don't want to come to Florida, stay away. Listen to the NAACP.
You don't even see the Gideon's Bible in hotels anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was just at the I don't know what the hell was that? The Hilton. You would think,
and it wasn't there?
Nope.
Hey, the first thing I do when I go to a motel is steal the Gideon's Bible. I mean, look for the Gideon's Bible in the bureau. Yeah. And every once in a while, you do find them. But here, I want to piss myself off a little more. Here's some programs from the GLSEN.
Oh boy.
Advocate for students, advocate for friends, advocate yourself. Learn about our programs. Here's Solidarity Week. They have Solidarity. Here's No Name Calling Week. Here's a Day of Silence, and the Day of Silence is portrayed by a couple of young females with pride flags tattooed to their cheeks. Changing the game. That's also we promote changing the game. You know what that is? Changing the game is if you're a guy pretending to be a girl and you can go play girl sports. That's changing the game. It's so nice. Get involved with your community and help the local chapter. This is any site in today that's supposed to be mainstream that has a quick exit option on the top is run by a bunch of freaking Satanist scumbags. That's it. You know.
That's it.
That's
All. That's all you got to say about
That's all I
that.
got to say.
Yeah.
This stuff. If this doesn't piss any you off out there, I just don't know what it takes.
You know, I don't know if it's the fluoride in the water, the microplastics, whatever. They have weakened us to such a point where we are, and not only that, but the outrage after outrage, we have become inured. We're numb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
are.
We
You
should
know
be,
what?
guys, even guys our age, we should be going biblical. These people should be disappearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should
You're right.
They should be disappearing out in the woods somewhere, never to be found again.
But right now, parents, and I can't stress this enough. Parents have to get involved with their children,
Oh,
their schooling,
like
pull
you've
them
never-
out of the public schools, put them in private schools, homeschool them,
Homeschool.
watch.
Yes.
Watch everything that they're being taught. Look at them carefully. I mean, go through their phones, go through their private stuff. There's everything. Do what you have to do, but
Yeah.
protect
Yeah.
your
Hey,
children.
Kids should not have a phone, first of all, until they're, I don't know, 15, 16 years old.
Oh, for sure.
Base-
Yeah.
As a base
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
The homeschooling, we got all these same people that convinced women they would be empowered
Right.
if they left the home and let their children be raised by other women or
Or was that a
by
scam?
daycare or
Yeah.
whatever, and go work for some guy other than their husband. That was empowering. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrong.
Look how that worked out.
You know, get back to basics. Stay home. Raise your kids. You don't understand how important you are.
Yeah.
You're more
Yeah.
important than men. Get that?
Absolutely. So, I mean, I hope I didn't get too out of
No.
control, but it's stuff just, you know.
I got to take that one back. But as far as the kids go, you know what I mean? The women have an oversized impact on them, and they're supposed to protect the children. That's their nature. That's how God built them.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
And
But,
sorry about that buried in the woods thing. I hope you don't have to edit that out.
Well, I think that's being, what's that called?
Hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're a comedy show here. So, you know what I got to
Yes.
say about that?
You can all suck my dick.
I was hoping you'd work that one in.
Okay, guys. Hey, everybody, have a good night. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, guys.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night.